Alright, so doing a drain walk through Dwellers. Got a Meebix in the right tunnel. Starting here, as usual, the tunnel still goes miles further, but I'm just doing from here. So we're going to go through to the new section and then all the way through to the outlet. I'll see you at the other end. I'll see you at the other end, Meebix.
Yeah, so with the drain dwellers, we just started seeing it around. Like, first we saw this logo, which was a circle for triangle in the corner and then a couple of lines, which we think was a ninja star. So the drain dwellers were started by Blade and Cobra, or Cobra. I'm not sure if one of them founded it or if they're co-founders. There were a couple of other members. Camo was the next main member that I knew. And then there were others like Snake and Ninja. But I think Ninja may have been Blade's original name. I'm not sure. I've just got that feeling in the back of my head. I'll try and confirm it with him.
Hey, Nick. Bix.
Hey, where did you come from? You're not meant to be here today.
What are you doing? Oh, it's supposed to be your day off.
Today's the public holiday.
Oh my God, there's already been Green here on Cup Day and Meebix and Duggo on Cup Day 2024. What's this say? Oh, this guy's always he's just after attention. Duggo's last visit to Dweller's Tomb. Seriously, that guy. Goodbye. Remember that I love you.
It was like most of the groups back in those days. You know, they'd have like 6 or 7 members, but only 1 or 2 were sort of holding it together, the ones that were really keen about it. They're the ones that would normally join Cave Clan. Blade ended up, after a little while, moving to Whyalla. Yeah, so we started seeing the Drain Dwellers logo, and then we started seeing a bit of their graffiti. I think they were more into doing the logo at first. They might do the Drain Dwellers tag once or twice in a drain. I think we missed a few of them or whatever. You know, it's not like we were going in every drain every week, but luckily we were both doing Northcote Golf Course a lot. I was going there, checking our message bags and messages that people had left from other drains, and the drain dwellers were going in there.
Cobra. Actually, I'm not doing a drain talk in this video. I'm going to tell the drain dweller story. I just remembered. So,
You said you look like Andre the Giant.
we did. I'll play that video. This is the most embarrassing photo of my life.
You fucking look at it right now, you. That's fucked. Fuck me, there's my oh. you know, you look like, yeah, mate. Hey, I swear, hey, you look like Andre the Giant. Hey, you want now like that, guy?
What's the photo?
Fuck, man, that's bad, mate. Because, wait a minute.
What's the photo? Life is a game of dice that plays itself. Oh my God. My head's going to explode.
You know, I had a Cobra from other. Thought he was down in the devil.
Yeah, because he goes in drains. He was going in drains. Thought he was the devil, yeah.
He was with the dark one, underground.
His mother sent him away to the Greek Orthodox priest country chalet, and he had to live there because he was going in drains and smoking banana peels that he dried out on his roof. Cobra is the funniest cunt.
So, as I've mentioned before, the Cave Clan at this stage wasn't going really well. I mean, I recently spoke to Sloth and he said, I don't remember it ever nearly folding or whatever. But I think what it was I sort of, as I've said many times before, I was the one that was really obsessed with it and wanted it to become something bigger. And I was losing faith in it. Yeah, whereas Sloth and Woody, maybe we mentioned it at our second anniversary. This could be our last anniversary or something like that. But then things started happening, like the tunnel team contacted us, like the message bags did it. The message bag was so successful, and, the proof is in the pudding. So many people that found message bag were still mates with. But the Drain Dwellers didn't find a message bag somehow, I don't know how. And they didn't leave a message in the Norfolk Golf Course, Darkies, as we called it, at the Pillars, even though we both went there quite a bit. One day, I get this message from my brother, who, for Cave Clan purposes, we call Rock. He messaged me and said, there's a message under the Normandy Avenue bridge over Mary Creek near the Norfolk Golf Course, saying Cave Clan, phone Shane, which was an alias, of the Drain Dwellers, and a phone number. So he didn't write it down. So I went down, I wrote down the number, and then I changed it so other people wouldn't get it. But, I don't know why they didn't leave it in the Pillars. I've never even thought that until I was putting this together, and I thought, why didn't they put it in the drain?
So, this is really easy. Yeah, it is. It's really easy to get in and out. I'm not recommending you do it. Exit lies unless you're stupid. They're stupid tunnel toads. It's in a footpath, if I remember correctly. So, I'm not saying do it, but if you were caught in a flood, that's a good. And that's, if you wonder where it is just before where it gets low for a little bit. There's a bit of a slide, ramp, whatever you want to call it. Oh God. It's been a long day. I've had enough of bending. Blocked off tunnel. Oh fuck, there's more. I thought it was bigger here. And there's this really old school graffiti under here. Like from the 70s. Most of it's worn off. It used to be neater when we first... I guess when we first started coming up here, it was only like 30 years old, the graffiti. Oh, not even. Probably 15 years old. Gilroy. Guest book. Yeah, so this is a drain where the firemen drowned. Okay. So this red brick underpass. Quite often red brick arches are under railway tunnels, and this is probably the right length. 1973. It's, well, when we came in here in like 1980, whenever it was, 7 or 8, I'll put the date up when we found it. This was still there, so it probably is authentic. Whole heap of things sticking out of the roof. Oh shit. I've got to go. This camera battery's now flat. I'm just going to film as much as I can. Well, that's why I was trying to charge it up in the car. I thought it might be a bit short. Like I must say, lucky. Got enough battery to get the big cock and balls. The light just seemed to improve. I appear to have lost amoebics. Amoebics, where are you? Amoebics.
Anyway, I can't remember if I was with other people when I rang them, but I rang the number and an obvious adult mother type figure answered the phone. And I said, is Shane there? And The mother luckily said, Shane, there's no Shane here. And then I heard in the background Blade, who I won't say his real name, Blade, say, that's for me. And that's how we met. We started talking and we arranged to meet at the Northcote Golf Course Darkies. But it was only Woody and I. Sloth, which I only realised this when I was doing a zine on all our shitty comics we did back in the 80s. I found the thing that Sloth had drawn where he's like, on this day, I should find it again, actually. It says the exact time that we met. I think we went up to the pillars and we were calling out, hey, Drain Dwellers, but they weren't there. And then we heard someone calling us at the entrance, but they were late. So I was in Golf Course Drain. For anyone that knows it, there's like gutter slits just inside. And Woody had gone out, and then I heard Woody talking to these guys, and I was still in the drain. So I looked out through the gutter slit, and I could hear the voices, and I could see these two dudes in full, like, camos, boots, like proper, not like dodgy, like they looked like soldiers. And I was like, oh fuck, we've been set up. And they were like, hey Duggo, come out. I was like, fuck. I could hear Woody calmly talking to them, like Woody wasn't stressing. But I'm thinking, do I go out? Anyway, I walk out and it turns out, yeah, they wear fucking full camouflage. As we found out later, the reason they were late this day and the reason any time that we went exploring with them, lacing up their camo boots and shit like that could take a while. Yeah, so that was the day that we met them. I don't remember much about the meeting because normally when I tell the story, that is all I really tell, that part. I don't know what we did that day, I can't remember. You know, I'm pretty sure Blade wouldn't take this the wrong way, but Blade was really serious. Like, he took it really serious. He was very professional. He wanted the Drain Dwellers to be, you know, professional. Cobra was just a hot, smoking Greek guy who just cracked me up. Like, probably to this day, the funniest I've explored with. I'm sort of attracted to people that have got a good sense of humour and take the piss out of themselves. But Cobra was just, you know, yeah, he was really good. But there was a lot of, what do you call it? Basically showing off, I guess that's the simplest way of calling it. And we, luckily, we just started a bit before them, and we had found some good drains. And we'd obviously both done Northcote Golf Course. I think we'd both done Clan 2, but luckily they hadn't done a, well, I say luckily. As far as the showing off goes, they didn't have anything good that we hadn't already done, which isn't really a good thing, because if they came along and they said, we've got all these awesome tunnels, well, then we would have benefited from, you know, having all these new tunnels. They had this drain called the testing drain. It's a little round pipe. It's got a bit of concrete out the front, a wall, and goes down to the creek. And it's like, you know, you got to crawl through it. And they called it the testing drain. And they'd been through it X amount of time. And, you know, each time they did it a bit quicker or whatever, something like that. As I said, they were really into, like, you know, training, and, or at least Blade was.
Okay, we're coming up to what is known as, I would call it the new section, Urbex Beach. It's a pretty cool section. But I did come here the other day with some other people, so I'll use that footage, which will explain why it's, yeah, there's other people in it. I think it's, what's his name? Check the Radar and something Drain Slut. Anyway, I'll be with those guys for the next couple of minutes. I might just do a couple of shots. Yeah, look at the beach. They call it Marambina Beach, they call it.
Geez, that sounds like I'm giving those guys shit, but what I mean is at that time we were just finding shitloads of drain. But what I will say about the Drain Dwellers is that they basically saved the cave clan. It may have went on, because I don't know what happened, because, you know, sliding doors, but because we met Drain Dwellers and then Tunnel Team, and then whatever Roscoe's crew was called, some stupid name like the 3 hot dogs and the 2 burgers, this all just happened at the right time. And Drain Dwellers got me passionate about it again. And then the same with, tunnel team and all this. I was like, oh, fuck, it's happening.
Can you open it for me? I've only got one here.
So that's one thing I've always credited Drain Dwellers to. Not many people would know them. They know of them. The way Urbex is in Australia, and, if I wanted to be an egotistical wanker, I could say, I think Cave Clan did help speed things up on a bigger scale. And I think, in Australia it might be a bit more, not so much yobbo, have a few beers while you explore. I think that's because of the way we got things going, and we probably started it 15 years earlier than what would have happened. So obviously we set the foundations, but that wouldn't have happened if the Drain Dwellers and, even Tunnel Team and the 3 burgers and the 2 hot dogs or whatever they're called.
There's a basketball loop if you want to play basketball. All this Melbourne Water must have come in and ripped everything down because there was a heap of shit up here.
Didn't come along, Cave Clan wouldn't have happened, but urban exploration, even in Australia, would have started, how it sort of took off around 2000 or a bit before 2000, in the mid-90s, I don't know. But, Australia would have been 10 years behind it. It's just my theory. Obviously you cannot predict an alternative timeline, but that's what my guess is. So, yeah, thanks to, it's something that we should all thank Drain Dwellers. Unless you hate the way Cave Clan set up urban exploration in Australia, then you can hate Drain Dwellers too, although they were innocent. Blade probably wanted it to be more like what some of you guys wanted it to be like, serious stuff.
And it's like they've just gone, oh fuck, we need a bit more drain. Let's put a hallway. You won't often see anything like this. They found it. No, you can see the dates on it. Cock and balls, guys, we can go. I found one. I don't know, what's 21? Yeah, that's probably when it was built. Probably built in 2020. Oh, look at that up there. Look. No, it's rats.
What's it trying to do? Trying to get out? Oh, I feel...
If that possum is still in our 4D.
Get a room into
Talk to the drain side.
Imagine that dropped on like an head. Be just like in the movies.
How do you even get up there?
All that's like, rocky. But yeah.
Yeah, rock climbed it up.
Yeah, so as I said, we were showing off Anzac and City Tunnel. We took them to City Tunnel. I think we just found it. I think when we first did City Tunnel, we did it with the Drain Dwellers and a tunnel team. One thing that Cobra had spotted, and we'd spotted, different ways. We spotted the maze outlet. We went out that way looking for the drain, and Cobra had said, I've seen this big canal on the train when I go out to my cousin. He used to play in a band, play a synthesizer. He was into Jure. Do 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 do. Yeah, so on the day we went looking for maze, I'm pretty sure they were part of that. I can check dates and all that and confirm. Check my old diary. Yeah. So, they were heading in the same direction. The fact that Blade ended up moving, I don't know how they would have kept going. Well, not with Camo. Camo wasn't that into it. And Cobra, well, I'll explain more about that as we go on. The way that where Cobra went and why he's not exploring nowadays.
2019. Yeah, they were building it for years. So I'm not sure how long they built the pieces in advance. I don't think they were building them in 2018, but maybe.
Yeah, this is 2018 right here.
Yeah, but maybe they were like sitting in a yard because they took years and years to build it. So they would have had all the things made up.
Well, what are these?
Yeah, what's the...
Oh, that's our RAM set, bro.
Oh, that's shit, yeah.
Kim said Constable Beach.
Anyway, you can follow this all the way out, but it gets muddy at the outlet. And unless it joins up, unless there's some kind of where you can see the main tunnel, I think it's pretty shit. But I've never done it, so I'm not sure. But I think it's just because I remember when I was looking at the plans when I was building it, it was this height all the way through. So the only thing is you might come across some features.
We went and explored a drain. It was Pentridge. It was Pentridge drain, which is a shit drain. Never do Pentridge. Maybe it's been extended a bit and it's got a bigger outlet. I don't know. Maybe it hasn't. But I think it's got like more. It's even worse because it's hard to get in because it's flooded. They've put a wetlands outside it. Maybe I'm probably thinking of Acorns. I know they've done that with Acorns. I did it with, I think it was just the three of us. But I was wearing which I don't normally wear, but I was wearing a khaki green jacket. And these two guys were fully dressed up in their camos. They're full, looking like proper fucking soldiers. We found a manhole out because there's no way you're going back through that piece of shit. Normally I get out first. I mean, usually, I don't know why, because I was bigger, I'd always push manholes and shit off. But maybe we had to go through a small tunnel or something to get to it, and to get to the manhole. So Cobra went up, because Cobra was a skinny little guy. Anyway, they got out, and I always used to say the same thing. I'd always say, is there anyone around? Is it safe? And they were sort of giggling. They were both standing above the manhole. No cameras, of course, otherwise I'd have photos. They're sort of giggling, and then, come out, man, come out, man. And it was a bit of a tight squeeze. I remember I sort of got halfway out, and I'm in the gutter box or a manhole, but in the footpath. And there's just this family of... I've always told the story as, them being Lebanese. Back then, it was closer to, all the civil wars and shit like that. I had a lot of Lebanese friends, and they reminded me of Lebanese. They were literally jaw-dropped. They were sitting on their front veranda, or it might have been the yard sort of thing around the side of their house, but short, low fence. And they were just staring at literally, what the fuck are these two guys? And even me sitting in there, even though I looked nothing like a soldier, I still had a khaki jacket on. I just remember telling that story for quite a while. It was one of those, we were new to it, but it was like, fuck, real people, the real world crossing over into our world. I've always loved getting out of manholes, access shaft, whatever you want to call them. I've always sort of liked that part of it. I think that's a big part of it. Like a lot of people nowadays, no, I won't say a lot, but I hear quite a few people say that they don't do manholes, or they don't get out of manholes, they're not confident enough or whatever.
So even though this is a drain dweller information video, not so much a drain walk as usual, but just to explain the newer sections, this big pipe that I'm in, and that big pipe, you can see where they've cut over here. Massive. So they've cut it all out. So this used to go straight through. That tunnel is new. It leads to a big grill room thing to help with flooding. The manhole's new. That leads to another grill to help with flooding. This is new, which leads to a pretty cool feature, which you'll see in a sec. And then, so I love this one. To me, it's like they've just gone, we need a bit more volume. So let's chuck this narrow hallway in, which that's like 3 metres tall. UFO. So, in the old days, you would just come through this round pipe. This didn't exist, and you go straight through all the way. You'd miss the new bit didn't exist, so this would just stay round until it changed shape, the old one. But now it goes through. Actually, I was telling the All City guys how it's changed, and you can see All City in the start of a tag, and then all this bit's been cut out. So I was trying to explain to them, there you go. I was trying to explain to them how it's changed. So this section's been cut out, and then we'll go quick walk up to the next bit. When those Old City guys did this, I would have just walked straight through from here, straight through to that tunnel. All of this didn't exist either, which is pretty cool. Okay, so obviously that's the old tunnel. That is a new tunnel. So all these extra inlets that they've created, the two main ones, This is to take the excess volume. This goes, if you follow this, you'll come out at, well, it comes out. So I'm not going to do that. I'm mainly interested in the big old one. But you can do it. So it's a heap to explore here. Oh, that's not true. Woody Sloth, Duggo, Bango, Bubble Nose, Rock, Roscoe, Gilligan, Trinity, Blade, Cobra and Camo. That's really weird. That's like from that when we first came here. But this section, it's really weird. I don't get that. You can't see the date it's been painted over. That's confusing. This couldn't be, no, someone's written that after the fact. Yeah. Probably someone trying to confuse me or me confusing myself. Okay, here we go. This is the first time I've been in this section. Not as long as other drains, but like maybe 15 years, I reckon. Alright, I'm not going to be talking much in this one because, I mean, I will be talking much, but I'll be doing the drain dweller story. That was more just a message to myself. Okay.
When we used to run the New Explorers Extra through maze and then go outside, we'd always get out of the manhole. It wasn't the best manhole. It was quite awkward to get up to. I sort of thought it was a good way to finish. And everyone I hate it when people say everyone, but everyone did seem to really enjoy it. We'd all get out in this leafy suburb and there'd always be some locals going past and quite often you get a comment or two. And, you know, there'd normally be like 25, 30 of us. But I've always tried to, you know, show that side of it.
Cave plan and drain dwellers. That's possibly our first visit, but I can't see a date.
And also, a quick one, if you are in a drain and you're going to get out of a manhole, the safest ones to get out of is normally you crawl up a small side pipe where you see a bit of light, and there'll be the rectangular concrete ones, although they seem to be replacing them with those bigger plastic ones. I've never come up to one of them, so there's heaps more experienced people that would be able to tell you exactly what to do in them, but I don't know if you can get them off from the inside. Pretty dangerous if you can't. I always say this to the water board, you know, when you're planning on how to keep people out, you know, just remember sometimes stupid kids are going to get in there, and also, you know, workers might get trapped in there and need a way out urgently. So anyway, sidetracked. One of my favourite expos ever was when we found A flooded. The reason we called it A flooded, I'm doing this a bit out of order, but is Cobra used to always say, hey, that's how he'd say it, hey Duggo, listen.
Hey, Duggo, listen, mate.
Hey Duggo, when it rains, no drains. Hey Duggo, I just wrote that it was good. I'll explain more of that later. So as I said, we were sort of new. We were loving having Blade and Cobra. Although they didn't officially join Cave Clan yet, they could do both logos. I think there was even a mutated, both CC and Drain Dwellers. You see that in a couple of spots. So we've blown up our boats and we've gone to this flooded drain, and we don't know anything about it. We've never done it before. And we just bring a heap of string and ropes and we tie them all together. And Cobra's the first one that wants to go in. And he's like, if you run out of rope, tell me. Make sure you pull me back. Don't let me keep going. And we're like, yeah, man, yeah, for sure. And we get like, I don't know, it's probably not that much. It's probably like 100 or so metres of nylon rope, shitty rope. He jumps in a rubber boat. No photos, no videos. I've got other photos of us going into this tunnel, which I might chuck up here, but none from that day. So Cobra's sort of gone off and he's like calling out back to us, you know, with this strong Greek accent. He's like, hey, Duggo, this is sick. And you just see him disappear off into the darkness. And I think he's up on his hands and knees with his sort of arse sticking out. He's not like lying in it like how you are when you're paddling. He's sort of paddling with his hands. And the rope keeps going and going and going. And then whoever had the rope, I think for the sake of the story, I think it was me, I sort of run along the edge with the rope, get to the top of the drain, because you could stand on top of this, it's stuck out. And, and I'm holding the last little bit of string and I'm reaching in an arm length up the drain. I can't even see him now. And then he's calling out, "Don't let the string go. Hey." And then we let the string go. And, you just see this string, because it was that orange nylon, the string that gives you really bad rope burns and that. And you just see that sort of float off into the darkness until that was gone. Once again, that's where my story normally ends, so I can't remember what happened. I know he came back and said it's fucking awesome. I don't know if that string thing was like a safety thing. Like we thought, because we were noobs, and we thought, you can't go into a flooded drain. There could be, even though the water was coming out, and you'd come up to a waterfall or whatever. We just didn't know what we were doing. But such a fun story. Like, I know you got to be there sort of thing. I don't want to talk Cobra up as being eaten a bit and Blade being not so. Blade was really into it. But the only difference was Blade moved. So Blade wasn't really around that long.
Quite often you come through here, this would be blocked and all this would be flooded. You'd like walk knee deep. But how many times are you going to write your name card?